Hey everyone, now that we've finished our mixed up colorful communities, we're gonna do just a one cycle activity. So what we start right now, we will finish today. So what we're gonna do is something called a folding surprise. So it means that your picture is gonna look one way, and then when you open it up, it's going to look a different way. So anytime that you need to pause the video during the drawing, please feel free to pause and then restart the video when you're ready for the next step. So we're going to take our paper and we are going to fold the bottom of our paper to the top. Try to line up your paper sides and your corners as best as you can. And then we're going to take just this top part and fold it down to the bottom. So line it up with the bottom and press. And then we are going to turn it over and fold down this side. So it's the same as the other side. And then once it's all folded, you're going to push this side back and flip it over. And then turn it. So we want your paper to be able to open up like an accordion. Now we're going to keep it closed while we start to draw here. So we're going to be doing an owl. So the first step that we are going to draw is going to be the nose. So right in the middle here where it is folded, we are going to draw a V. And that's going to be for your owl's nose. And then we are going to make the top connected. And then owls have really big eyes. So we're actually going to make over here 2 big ovals. So there's one. And here will be our second one. So this is all happening on this top piece, okay? And then we are going to make another oval on each side of the one we just did. And then we're going to make another one. And this one we're going to color in. If you want to leave a little bit of white for like a glimmer of light in their eye, you can. Now, the next line we do is going to be a really big one. So before you start, watch what I do. I'm going to start at the nose, and I'm going to go under, all the way around, and back over until I touch the nose. So it looks like a bubble that goes underneath the eye, over and back. Now owls have little ears, so what we're going to do to make them is we're actually going to make a bump line here and another bump here. And then we're going to bring those down and connect them. These are going to be the little ears. And you can color those in. Now, I should have said in the beginning, I am doing this in marker, but you guys can certainly do this in pencil. I'm just doing it in marker so it shows up well for you guys. If I had done it in pencil, you might not be able to see it really well. If you want, when you're all done, you can trace it in marker. Now, we're going to go right from under the eye, and we're going to make a U shape. And this is going to be for your owl's body. Now for their little belly, we're going to make a V. And we could put 2 little feet, just making U's. And now we're going to make a branch. So we're going to make a wavy line that goes from one side to the next. It doesn't quite go all the way over. If yours goes all the way over, it's totally okay, don't worry. And we're gonna put a little, really tall V. And then we're gonna make another one. This one might go off the page a little, and that's okay. If yours doesn't, awesome. If it does, no worries. And now we're gonna come all the way back, and our branch is gonna get a little wider. It's thicker over here, because this is the part that would connect to the tree if the tree was right here. I'm gonna put a leaf here. Make sure nothing that you do now is going on this top piece. It's all on that bottom piece of the paper. And you can put the little lines on the leaf if you want. Maybe we have another branch with another leaf. If you can fit a leaf here on this one, if yours doesn't go off the paper, you could put one there. Maybe we have another leaf here. There's no right or wrong with that. You can put them wherever you'd like. And you can make some bark on the tree so it has a texture. All right, now this is our first owl and he is done. So now what we're actually gonna do is we are gonna wind up opening up our paper. So it's gonna look a lot bigger. So you're gonna open it up. And now you're like, well, Mrs. Green, now my owl isn't together. And you're right, but it is going to be. So what we're gonna do now is turn this into a baby owl with the parent owl at the top. So we're gonna follow those same steps down here where we have our baby owl, except we're gonna change one thing. So above the folded line, you're gonna go up a little higher, and you're gonna make the nose and close it just like you would have before. But now instead of making the eyes open, since this is our baby owl, we're just gonna put 2 rainbow shapes. Maybe he's sleeping. You could put little eyelashes if you want, totally up to you. And then we're gonna do that big line again. So we're gonna go from the nose all the way around and back. And we're gonna connect the part of the body that's not touching that. And same with the belly. And now let's make the ear line. So we're gonna take this and make a big U, upside down U, that rainbow shape. You know what I meant. And then we're gonna do another one. And now we're gonna come back to the head to make the ear. And we're gonna color this in. Now, if you're using a pencil and not a marker, you don't have to color this in right now. You could just do that later if you decide to outline it with marker, or if you just color it in with crayons. You could just color that later. Now, we're gonna make the body of the parent owl here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take the V and come down, just like we have on the baby owl. And for the body, we're gonna come down. And we're gonna have the 2 little feet. And we're gonna make it so it's standing on a branch above this baby owl, like it's watching over its baby while it sleeps. And so we're gonna make a line for the branch. Same thing over here. It's gonna be a thicker branch over here, and it's gonna get thinner just a little bit. And we can add in more leaves if we want, just like we did last time. Maybe we have one here. And again, you can put texture for the bark if you want. And you don't have to do spirals or anything like I did there. If you want to just make lines, that's fine. just so it has that rough texture. It's going to make it more noticeable as a branch. All right, and so what we have now is one owl that opens up to reveal the parent and the baby. Now, if you want, you could put a line here to make it like it has its wings sort of folded in front of itself. And if you want on the chest, you could put little V's just to act like some feathers. We could do that to the baby one if we want. And then on the actual wings, if you want, you could put some zigzag lines just to act like more layers of feathers there. Maybe we put some of those V's up here on its eyebrow area, just so it has more texture to its body. And if you want, you could do the same thing down here to your little baby. And maybe up here at the top, maybe we have like the moon. Doesn't have to be real big because it would be out in the distance. And then maybe we have little stars. And if you can't make real stars, you guys can totally make little circles just to act like little twinkling stars. You could even sort of put a line in them, so it looks like a little twinkle. I like to kind of mix my stars, so I do some pointy ones, but then I do little circle ones too. Because when we look up at the sky, we don't really see them like pointy stars like the ones we typically draw. We see them as just little dots. All right, and then once you're all done, now that you've done this in pencil, you can go ahead and trace it in a Sharpie if you have one at home. If you don't, you can use any sort of black supply, like a black marker, you know, any kind that you have, or you could even use a black colored pencil just to make your line stand out a little more. And you can color this with whatever you want. So if you have markers or colored pencils or crayons, if you have watercolor paints and you want to paint over it, you could do that too. If you are using paint at home, just make sure that you use a Sharpie marker to outline, because if you use any other marker, when you wet it, it'll smear. And there you have it. You have your little baby owl that turns into the parent owl with the actual little baby that's there. And I will post a picture of mine colored in Schoology for you guys too.